Good morning, everyone. It is truly an honor for me to join you for this very special ceremony recognizing the graduates of the Parent Academy for Success of Schools, better known as Pasos program. To begin, I personally want to also, as those who spoke before me, thank Superintendent Dr. Daniel Trevino Jr. and Mercedes ISD School Board members and the Texas Valley Communities Foundation for inviting me to serve as the keynote speaker for this graduation ceremony. But I also want to give special recognition to State Farm Insurance as the sponsor of the Pasos initiative. It could not have happened without their support. Give them another round of applause. Your genuine support for the meaningful parental engagement is key to student success in our schools. But I have a special keynote address that I want to offer in English and in Spanish. And I want to say that when I walked in the doors of this beautiful auditorium, it made my heart swell with pride, because it was here that I received my high school graduation diploma over 50 years ago. And to walk in and see the orange and white colors of our school, and to see how beautifully they have refurbished and fixed up our auditorium, ladies and gentlemen, that brought back to me great memories. And I walked in these doors and I looked at the whole auditorium and couldn't help but remember how impressive the presidents, the bust statues of the presidents of the United States that greet you and greeted us as we walked in this auditorium, including George Washington, our first president, including Abraham Lincoln, our 16th president, Ulysses Simpson Grant, our 18th president, as well as Rutherford Hayes, who followed as the 19th president, and Benjamin Harrison, the 23rd president, and including Woodrow Wilson, 28th president. And how impressive that we could have some of the early founders of our country shown in these busts, so that we can remember where we came from and how our country was created, always placing so much importance in the investment in education. And I want to share with you that I was a young 17-year-old sitting in this front row, and the auditorium was full, to listen to our then Congressman in 1958, Congressman Benson, who represented the 15th Congressional District, which I now represent. And I include that in my opening remarks because as he stood here where I'm speaking, he finished his speech, which took about 30 minutes, and he said, I want to thank this group of senior students and the rest of the student body, because you all have listened so attentively to me. And I just have to say that there's no doubt in my mind that amongst you there is probably one of you who will someday take my place as your congressman And since I was the president of the senior class, and I was in the front row, I said to myself, he must be talking to me. So as I see these parents, you remind me of my father and my mother. Salvador Hinojosa, my dad, and Marina Hinojosa, my mother, and their parental involvement that many years ago. But let's fast forward to what happened 10 days ago. I received a phone call from one of the advisors of President Obama. Her name is Cecilia Munoz, a young woman who's an attorney and brilliant, and she is a special advisor to President Obama. And her words were, Chairman Hinojosa, can you hear me in the back? Just wait. No, you cannot hear me. And could you raise the volume on this, because I don't think that I have a very strong voice, evidently. Is that better now? Can you hear me back there? Better. Thank you. This is important because it adds to the importance of parental involvement. Cecilia Munoz said, Mr. Chairman, and she was referring to the fact that I am the chairman of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus, made up of 27 Latino and Latina members of Congress. The President is inviting you to the White House to be one of 30 he is specially inviting to his new Your Brother's Keeper initiative, of which you saw on CNN and you saw on many programs in the last 10 days. And I accepted. And so when I walked in together with the chair of the Black Caucus, Marcia Fudge from Detroit, she and I represented approximately 80 minority members of Congress, men and women. She, the Black Caucus, and I, the Hispanic Caucus. And they gave us a special place to sit, right? And it's a big rectangular, oval-shaped conference table with 30 chairs, and she and I were sat right across from President Obama. And he spoke about the importance of everyone, elected officials and parents, getting involved in this new initiative that he and our First Lady, Michelle Obama, were launching, Our Brother's Keeper, dedicated with the mission statement of helping minority boys and young men, to help them stay in school, graduate from high school, and go on to graduate from college, instead of dropping out of school, instead of winding up in prisons. And so I bring this up because each one of us, without notes, were to give special thoughts about why it was so important that we embrace the President's initiative of Brother's Keeper and do more than just talk, but act and do something. And what you have done in taking these 6 weeks of training is action, what I am talking about. Not just talk. But let me say that among the very important people who were in that room, and you can understand why I remembered my father saying, when you are in the presence of people like the President and others, you will be and feel like you are in tall cotton, and you're going to have to sort of get up on your tiptoes and contribute. And the ones who gave, and just so that you know who was there, the mayor of New York City, Bloomberg, the outstanding basketball player Magic Johnson, who owns lots of businesses, the former General and Secretary of State Colin Powell, 7 members of Obama's administration, cabinet members, the Secretary of Education, Arne Duncan, the Secretary of Labor, Tom Pettis, and many, many others. But Colin Powell's words were, he said, "Ladies and gentlemen, the most important thought that comes to my mind to share with you on this initiative is the importance of investing in education." And he said, "I have learned in other countries like China and India and Finland and others, what they have said is the answer to success in schools. A very simple formula," he said. "Early reading plus writing equals success in school. However, it takes good qualified teachers, and it takes parental involvement as the thread," he did this, he said, "the thread that holds all the tools together for a successful graduation of our children, instead of winding up in prisons." So it makes me so proud to see that this program that has been going on for hundreds and hundreds of years in those countries that General Powell, Secretary of State Powell mentioned to us, is what we are seeing here. This investment in the parents to graduate so that they can learn how to participate, how to read to the children, how to make sure that they are in school every day, and how they are college ready when they graduate from high school. There's so many good things happening, and it is an honor for me to represent you and to be your voice in Washington the last 18 years, and to have been chosen by my peers to be the first Hispanic chairman of the subcommittee for higher education that oversees all the community colleges in the country, all the universities, public and private in the country, and to be able to say, we need to invest. As chairman with a gavel, I said, we need federal investment in women and minorities, that they be college ready in high school and that they graduate from college. And ladies and gentlemen, we have never seen the kind of investment that has been made in Washington by Congress of $2.5 billion over 10 years, which when you add $100 million each of 10 years equals $1 billion of investment towards this end. And when you add it to what the Department of Education under my leadership was to have already brought in $121 million each year, equals $221 million until the year 2020 to invest in our children and our students to be able to not only earn an associate degree in the community colleges, not only to earn a bachelor's degree in the university, but also a master's and a doctoral degree. Investing in the Latino community is one of the best things that could happen. And that was one of the comments that I made to the other 29 members of that table with the president. So you can see that what I see here is that I want to congratulate our hardworking and dedicated parents who are graduating today. I am extremely proud of you. It truly warms my heart with joy to know that you are taking bold steps to improve your children's future. And I understand that you have made personal sacrifices to attend the Pasos program, Saturday morning sessions, 6 weeks And since many of you have other responsibilities, such as children and jobs, completing the Pasos program was not always easy to do. What matters is that you are graduating this morning because you made the education of your children a high priority in your lives. My mother, Marina, my father, Salvador, got to see all of their children graduate from high school and one half of them from college. I was number 8 out of 11 children, and I was the first one of the boys to graduate from college. And not only to get my bachelor's degree when I was 21 years old, but my master's degree in business administration, and to be able to garner the courage to run for Congress, as I told silently to Congressman Benson that he was talking to me. And so you can see why I'm speaking from the heart. I'm telling you how proud I am that you have done as the first class, graduating class, to finish this very important initiative, this very important Pasos program. You'll learn how to better prepare your daughters and sons for college and success in school by setting goals for yourselves and your families. And now you have a better understanding of how to navigate the school system and how to build stronger relationships with teachers, with counselors, and administrators. I learned from my mother, I learned from my dad. They didn't have any training, they didn't come to the schools. They did it from home. But just like they graduated, one half of them, I have 5 children. 3 are college graduates. Number 4 is a junior at the University of Texas in Austin. And number 5 is going to graduate from high school and will be going to Texas A&M where she was admitted. And I will make sure that all 5 of them get a diploma. And you can do the same. In closing, I want to say, parents, we need your help. We need your help to transform our nation's public schools. And although this is a monumental task, I know that by working together, we can get the job done. If our goal is to provide every student with a high-quality education at all levels of education, be it pre-kinder, elementary school, middle school, high school, college, universities, and to ensure that our students succeed, it is imperative that our schools have strong parent involvement, family involvement, and leadership programs to engage the parents in our schools and community. As greater numbers of Latino children and youth enter our nation's classrooms, and by the way, from Brownsville to Laredo, Region 1 Service Center is serving 500,000 students, kindergarten through high school. And of those 500,000, 97% are Latino children. There's no question that our group of Latinos is growing faster than any other ethnic group in the United States. The only way that we can become the leaders is to get educated. And that's why you are here, so that you can learn how to help your children graduate and be college ready and go on to graduate from the universities. Reforming our educational system must involve everyone in the community. You as parents, our students, our teachers, our administrators, our community leaders, elected and appointed to different positions, and many more. It means that we must build coalitions and partnerships to create excellent schools for every child. As parents who care deeply about the education and future of our children, I ask that you partner with principals, with teachers, counselors, and staff to reform and improve our public schools. I want to see a 90% graduation rate, if not higher, as I saw in countries that I visited that are graduating at 95 to 97% of those who start kindergarten. And I asked the parents in China, what about the balance, the ones that don't graduate? And they said some have learning disabilities, and some are just damn mean. They just don't want to go to school. But that is only like 3%. Ours, when I started Congress, were graduating in this area at 50%. But thanks to the GERA program that you mentioned, and of which you are a product, of which I am one of the authors of that program with Chaka Fattah from Pennsylvania, passed in 1998 and signed into law by Bill Clinton. First round, we got $45 million to invest over 6 years. In the second round of competition, we got the biggest grant in the whole country with $85 million over 6 years. And our graduation rate in all those groups that are graduating through the GERA program are at 84% in just 1 decade. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are on the right track, but we need your help. This may involve assist in school activities, or assuming a leadership role at the PTA, or a member of parent advisory councils. At the very minimum, it means monitoring your child's report card, visiting in person your child's school, and doing your best to understand what is expected of your child in each subject area. And it's very important to speak with teachers, counselors, administrators about this academic expectation. President Obama and Secretary of Education Arne Duncan would like our country to lead the world in college graduates by the year 2020. In order to reach this goal, Texas and our Rio Grande Valley must do their part to prepare Latino students to be college and career ready and ensure that they graduate from high school and college. Our children will need to have at least 2 years of college and the preparation necessary to access good paying jobs and careers, learning trades and learning how to make a living, a good paying job. A high school diploma is no longer enough, not with all the technology and computer systems that we have today. As your congressman, I would like to see your children strive much more than we did, because we didn't have computers, we didn't have all that technology, and we were able to function with a high school diploma and sometimes just an associate degree. The computer systems have come a long way. I carry a little telephone, which is also a computer, on my waist. I carry a portable one, and I can get so much information, and I can get called by Congress at any moment's notice on an emergency. That was not available back then. As your congressman, I'd like to see that your children try even more. And as you know, education has been a passion for quite some time for me. I served on the local school board, just like you. I served on the Texas State Board of Education 10 years. I served as the founding chairman of the South Texas Community College, and I led the effort to get it started. I did what the naysayers said would never happen, and that was to start a magnet high school system in the Rio Grande Valley, just like Houston and just like Dallas. And I showed them wrong. We did make it. I led the group that created the community college. They had tried for 30 years to pass an election that would create a taxing district to start a community college, and they failed. And they came and visited me at my company, my family business. Othel Brand and many other leaders from the valley said, "We're coming to you to lead us on starting a community college." And I said, "Why me?" He said, "Because you've been able to form coalitions of Republicans and Democrats and independents and form the things that you just heard me say." 14 months later, we started the community college, and today, even though we opened the doors with less than 1,000 students and 40 employees, today we have 33,000 students at the community college and a budget of over 200 million. So things can be done by you, because I am a Latino just like you. I look just like you. I'm a parent of 5 and a grandfather of 6. I look just like you. And I heard messages like that, and I'm coming and sharing everything that I can in such a short period of time. They asked me to speak in English and then say it in Spanish, but it's too long. I will give a copy of my translation of the typed speech to your superintendent and to the foundation so that they can share that with you, so that you know that I haven't forgotten my first language, and that is Spanish. Si algo me preguntan en español en Washington, o me piden que hable en español a las estaciones de televisión de Telemundo y Univisión y los periódicos que escriben en español en Washington, no se me dificulta darles un mensaje como el chairman del Congressional Hispanic Caucus. Y les quiero decir que le he agregado mucho a lo que me pidieron para dar mi mensaje, mi discurso aquí en esta graduación, pero les prometo que se lo voy a dejar aquí al grupo, que se los puede dar una copia en español para que ustedes lo usen con sus hijos, con sus hijas, con sus nietos. I look forward to working with you to ensure that Latino children, all children, have an opportunity to get a good education, that all children have the opportunity to go to college. It has been a pleasure addressing you today. Thank you very much.